The thing is, MJ, for this conversation, I want to take it back all to the very beginning.
Yeah.
Give us a bit about your background, where you come from. Yeah, the story.
Wow, the story is a bit long, but I'm gonna make it shorter.
Okay.
But interesting. Okay, let's start. So I'm 32, and I left home when I turned 18. So around how many years already? 14.
But like, where did you grow up?
Well, I grew up in San Antonio, which is a little town.
San Antonio.
Yeah, San Antonio is around like 90 minutes from the capital, which is Santiago de Chile. So I born and raised in San Antonio. And when I left there around 18, actually when I turned 18, I moved to the city, to the main capital, and spent there around 4 years, almost 5, because I studied there. So I studied advertising in my country. And as soon as I graduated, I went to see the world.
Okay, but real quick, let me stop you there. Let's take it back a little bit further.
How much back? How much? Okay, let's go.
So you grew up in a country town, like away from the city.
It's not like country town. I will say it's a town, but it's like 10 minutes from the sea. So Chile is a very slim country. It's the longest one. And Santiago de Chile, which is the capital, is just in the middle. And then in the middle of the middle, just in the center of the country. So to the west, you have Valparaiso, which is all the sea, like beaches. And the east, you have mountains, like Los Andes, Cordillera, and all of that. But I'm from the beach, kind of, very, very close.
Okay.
And in this, we call it the towns. It's like, if I kind of like make the comparison with Sydney, I used to live in Manovra, kind of like that.
Like where?
Manovra.
Okay, Maroubra.
Manovra.
Okay, so it was very like beachy.
Beachy vibes, yes.
Good weather all year round.
We have like very similar weather than Sydney, like the fourth season as well.
Wow.
Like in summer is in December to February, and then winter this time. So
like this, yeah.
Very, very similar in terms of the weather.
Okay, and how was like childhood? What was childhood like?
My childhood, well, I kind of like struggle because I'm coming my beginnings, like I was very poor, very, very poor. My parents, they always work. Even like my father, he just finished like school, and that's it. My mom always working, when I born, my mom was 17. So
Oh wow.
yeah.
How old was your dad?
So my dad probably was like 20 something, but yeah, she was very young. So that's a very funny thing. When I turned 17, my mom make like a big party for me because I didn't get kind of pregnant.
Really?
Yeah, like a big birthday party.
You think that was her fear?
Yeah. But to be honest, I have never had the intention to be pregnant.
Yeah.
I am more mature. I always always I wanting for, since I born, I was making the uncomfortable questions. Living in a small town is not easy because everyone knows each other. So it makes you feel like uncomfortable. You have to always follow the path, the normal path. You know what we're talking, like grow up, go to school, and then maybe study university.
So just quickly, and I think this is a good conversation.
Yeah.
When did you realize we're poor? Like, I'm poor?
I always knew it.
No, but like from what age did it?
Yeah, I think I would say when you go to school and then you start realizing like everyone, they don't know, like the shoes, for example. Like my mom always used to buy me shoes for 2 years, and my classmates they change it every year. Or my things, like my little backpack or my uniform. Always she was buying things for 1 or 2 years, or using stuff and things like that. And that is when you realize you are poor. Or when you are poor, like you have any kind of celebration, you ask her for money, mom, I have to do this. Your mom said, I don't have it, and it was difficult. I kind of like always when I was a child, I hid that part of myself, like because I was ashamed for being poor, for don't have things. So it was, oh yeah. For example, if someone invite me for a birthday, I will say, oh, no, sorry, I can go, I will do something with my parents or whatever.
You just make an excuse.
I make an excuse, obviously, to not to go. Because even like my mom said, okay, just go, like, yeah, dress up, and you was like, what's the point, like, go there and see my classmates spending the money on buying stuff, and I didn't have it, so it was like, why?
On this path of life that I'm on right now, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about my financial future. How can I make important moves now that are going to impact me when I'm older? This video is sponsored by Raiz. Every time you get an income, you can set weekly, monthly, daily investment goals. You can put aside money while you're growing and seeking the best future for yourself. For me, what I do is every week I have an amount and it puts the money into the stock market. It's all about compounded interest. The actions and the things that you do today are impacting your future. So for me to continually having that compounding interest of money being put away into the stock market, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, that amount is generational wealth. That is the power of compounded interest. It's always important to think about your future, always important to think about tomorrow and 20 to 30, 40 years from now. What Raiz has done with the Rubasha Family podcast, they're going to give you $5 once you sign up with the Raiz app and you're approved. You can start your financial journey today. None of this is financial advice. Hit the link in the description, get $5 into your account once you're approved, and get started on your investment journey today.
For what? And I had also, like, when I grow up, I always share my room with my little sister. So we have like probably like 8 years in between us.
Oh wow, 8 years.
Yeah.
So you're the oldest.
I am the oldest. Yeah. So always I share a room with her. I was the big girl, like the big sister, looking after my parents when they work, looking after my siblings.
So how many siblings?
So in total we have 4.
4 siblings.
Yeah, so it's me and then my brother, sister, and my little brother. So with my little brother, he's 13 years.
13. Mm-hmm. That's the youngest.
That's the youngest.
Baby, then the second.
And then Constanza, she is probably 8 or 9 years. I'm not sure, to be honest. I had to calculate it.
Yeah.
And then with my brother, we are 3 years in between.
Okay. Yeah. So from a very young age, obviously when you had siblings, you were taking care of them. You were the mother when because your parents were always working.
Always working, trying to find a way, and always, from the early morning until 9. And I have to do it, go to school and then finish school and then go home and then try to make something, or sometimes we didn't have it. And sometimes we only have to buy food for the day. I mean, that's it, and it was like.
Did you ever like ask your parents any questions? You know how like, cause you're a child, you're growing up.
Yeah, obviously. But always I felt I think I felt a lot of like empathy with my parents, because I was like trying to support my little brothers and my little siblings, just to make always make them like happy. Like I had never been like selfish, or I didn't have that reaction to be like, oh my God, like complaining about the situation. I always tried to find the solution. So as soon as I was like at 12 probably.
12.
I started working. So working means like in a little shop, or maybe because it's a small town, so every kind of like know each other. And my grandmother used to be very social. So one funny thing is like my grandmother, she used to have the same like mug than me, but on the other side.
The same what? Oh yeah.
So every time when I used to go out, everyone knows me. It was like, oh yeah, hi, how are you? How is your grandma? Or this and that. Everyone knew who I was for that thing. So everyone recognized it. And I don't think people makes me feel uncomfortable, kind of like in the city. But they knew like we were a struggle in some point, like. for many reasons. Maybe the lack of education of my parents or the opportunities. I don't know, to be honest. But as soon as I could, okay. So I think when I was like 12, maybe, yeah, 12. I used to do the like packaging like gift in this store.
So package gift like the post office.
No, more like they sell like a gift. It's like a gift shop, so you can go there some find little dolls, maybe toys, or sometimes boxes, cute stuff. You know, when you're gonna find like a birthday present. So you used to do that.
From the ages of 12.
Yes.
What about school?
So I used to go to school, obviously.
Okay.
For Christmas, like when I have these long weekends, they allows me to kind of like go there too. And then when I kind of like almost turned 13, my parents, they opened the first shop. And they have the opportunity. My father, what happened is like, my father got fired from his work. So he got this money. And then they decided to open the shop with that money. So they invest all the money in this shop. It was like a bottle shop.
A bottle shop. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So as I was like underage, I couldn't go like behind to sell the alcohol. But the cashier, it was in the other side. So I used to work there. So when I was 13.
13 years old, you're going. What were you doing?
In the cashier. So I used to be the cashier. So I remember we used to be like small, 13 years is like short person. So my mom put this very tall chair on there. So go to school and then finish school, I don't know, like 3 p.m. And then go to the shop, eat something there, and then like be the cashier because it's a machine, it's automatic. And I used to be very quick learner. So they teach me how to do it and then clean the sweets, organize, tied up, in the little, that's what I was doing. And my mom, I remember one day she said, oh yeah, so can you stay, I don't know, around the weekends? Yeah, and then I have an argument. I said, if you pay me.
How old?
Like 13.
13.
Because because I started making friends with the shop next to me, this gift shop. And they said to me, you can come here to work on weekends. And I pay you, they said to me, I pay you 5,000 Chilean pesos. 5,000 Chilean pesos is like $10 for a day.
$10 for the day.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
For the day. So they used to be, oh, wow, yeah. Even like, yeah. For it was like, it was like, oh my God, yes. And I said to my mom, I'm not going to continue working with you on the weekends because they offer me like this money.
And I'm not getting paid.
I'm not getting paid anything. And they say, obviously, she said to me, but you are my oldest child. You have to help me. I'm working. And it was like, okay. She said, okay, I pay you, but only if you work, I don't know, like, okay, whatever.